The night had swallowed the road whole. A cold wind whipped through the barren stretch of highway, and the rhythmic clicking of the dying engine was the only sound breaking the silence. Rain clouds loomed heavy, promising a downpour, and the air carried that uneasy stillness that comes before a storm. Emma tightened her coat around her shivering frame as her car came to a stuttering stop. The dashboard lights flickered once, then went black. She turned the key again, nothing but silence. She sat there for a long moment, gripping the steering wheel, watching the endless darkness beyond her windshield, before realizing the awful truth. She was stranded. Alone, miles from the nearest town, with no signal on her phone and no one in sight. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the quiet power of compassion that still exists in this world, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Because sometimes a small act of goodness can change everything, forever. Emma stepped out of the car, her shoes sinking into the damp gravel. Her headlights were the only faint source of light on the empty road. Every minute felt longer than the last. A few cars passed by, their headlights sweeping across her face before disappearing into the distance. No one slowed down. No one even looked her way. She tried waving, shouting, but her voice was swallowed by the growing wind. She was a young woman alone on a deserted road, and in moments like these, even bravery has its limits. Her mind spiraled. How had her life come to this? Just 2 months ago, she had been planning her wedding. But betrayal has a way of rewriting every plan. Her fiancé had left her for someone else, someone he'd been seeing behind her back for over a year. The pain of that discovery had shattered her, and tonight, driving away from the city that had broken her heart, she just wanted peace. But now, even that simple wish seemed too much to ask. Rain began to fall, slowly at first, then in relentless sheets that blurred her vision. She stood by the roadside, her arms wrapped around herself, tears mixing with the rain, when she finally saw it, dim headlights approaching from afar. She raised her arm weakly, hoping, praying that maybe this time, someone would stop. The vehicle slowed. For the first time that night, her heart lifted. It was an old blue pickup truck, its tires crunching on the gravel as it pulled over beside her car. The door creaked open, and a man stepped out. He was wearing a dark jacket, hands slightly stained with grease, the kind of look that told a story of long hours and honest work. His expression was cautious but kind. "Need some help?" he asked, his voice steady over the storm's growing howl. Emma nodded, words caught in her throat. She watched as he quickly assessed the situation, lifting the hood, his flashlight cutting through the rain. "Alternators shot," he muttered. "You're not going anywhere tonight." She felt her heart sink. He noticed her trembling and motioned toward his truck. "I live just a few miles down. There's a garage at my place. You can wait there till morning. Safer than staying out here." Something about his calm, grounded tone made her believe him. Still, she hesitated. Trust was a fragile thing for her now. He seemed to sense it and added quietly, "You can sit in the truck. My little girl's in the back seat. I'm just heading home from a late job." That single sentence shifted everything. A father, a child waiting in the car. The kind of detail you can't fake when you mean no harm. Emma finally nodded. The ride was quiet, the rain drumming against the roof. The little girl in the back, maybe 8 or 9, peeked curiously at Emma. "Hi," she said softly, clutching a worn-out teddy bear. Emma smiled weakly, her heart softening despite herself. "Hi." The man drove carefully, his eyes steady on the road. "Name's Jack," he finally said. "Sorry about the mess in the truck. Been a long week." When they reached his small home, Emma felt an odd warmth spread through her chest. The house was modest, a porch light flickering, tools scattered near the garage, but it felt lived in, full of quiet love and simplicity. Jack led her inside, offered her a towel, and started a small fire in the old wood stove. His daughter, Lily, brought her a cup of hot cocoa, insisting she take it because Dad says cocoa fixes everything. As the night went on, Emma learned bits and pieces of their story. Jack had been raising Lily alone since his wife passed away 3 years earlier. He ran a small repair shop from his garage and spent every evening helping Lily with her school projects. Life hadn't been easy for them. Money was always tight, but their bond was unbreakable. "People drive past my shop every day," Jack said with a faint smile. "Not many stop, but I guess that's life, huh? You help when you can, because you never know when you'll be the one standing in the rain. Those words lingered in Emma's heart long after he spoke them. They reminded her of something she'd forgotten. Hope. By morning, the storm had passed, leaving the world washed clean. Jack was already outside, working under the hood of her car. Emma watched him from the window, the sun glinting off his tools as he worked with quiet focus. Lily sat beside him, handing him wrenches like a little assistant. It was a simple, beautiful scene, a reminder that kindness doesn't always come wrapped in grand gestures. Sometimes, it's just someone fixing your car without asking for anything in return. When she stepped outside, Jack looked up and smiled. "Good news," he said. "Got it running again. Should be good to go." She felt a lump in her throat. "You didn't have to," she began, but he stopped her gently. "Yeah, I did. My wife used to say, the world's only as broken as the kindness we forget to show." I've never wanted Lily to forget that. Emma couldn't speak. The weight of everything she'd gone through, the betrayal, the loneliness, the hopelessness, seemed to fade in that single moment. She looked at him, this single dad who had every reason to be bitter, and yet chose kindness. She realized then that sometimes, people who've lost the most are the ones who give the most. Before leaving, she offered him money. He refused with a quiet shake of his head. "Just promise me one thing," he said. "When you see someone else standing in the rain someday, stop." She drove away, tears blurring her vision, her heart lighter than it had been in months. But life has its own mysterious way of weaving stories together. Weeks later, Emma returned, not because her car broke down, but because she couldn't forget what that night had taught her. She had started volunteering at a local shelter, helping families rebuild their lives after hardship. And one afternoon, she saw a familiar blue truck pull up outside. Jack stepped out, smiling in surprise. "Didn't think I'd see you again," he said. Emma smiled back. "I promised I'd stop." That day marked the beginning of something unexpected. What started as an act of kindness on a lonely road became a friendship built on mutual respect, shared laughter, and quiet understanding. Over time, it grew into something deeper, something that healed them both. Emma helped Jack expand his small repair shop, designing flyers and handling customers, while Lily found in Emma the motherly warmth she had been missing. It wasn't about rescuing each other. It was about rebuilding together. Months later, on a bright spring morning, Jack stood in front of his now bustling auto shop. The sign read, "Lily's Garage, fixing cars, mending hearts." Underneath it, smaller words glimmered in gold, "Founded by kindness." And if anyone ever asked how it began, Jack would simply smile and say, "It started with a broken car, a storm, and a woman who thought no one would stop." If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to help more people believe in kindness again. Every engagement helps us spread stories that remind the world goodness is still alive.